Good morning, everyone. Hope all is well. Everybody's doing all right. Give me 1 second. Making this connection for in class. All right, there we go. So I want to talk to you about a few things before we get started. Before we get going, let's see. Okay, so before I go to the calendar. So we have less than a month of class left. And so what I decided to do, looking at where we are and what's left and people's activity and stuff, I'm only going to do one section, hold you guys accountable for one section out of chapter 12. We're going to talk about that today. Light stuff, medium, motor, medium, but at least we're able to get into chapter 12. So let me see, how can I okay, so all this section, and that's all you should see in MATLAB as well. And say chapter 12 is, so the only section you held responsible for in chapter 12 is 12.2. Like I say, you should see that. Oh yeah. Let's see, that's test, I think it's test 4. So I'm gonna try to get chapter 11's test, that's test 4.
Another question.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, for the test, you got to move them, or is that like for the second one? Is like you get a second chance, then you mess up the first.
Right. Yeah, you only have to do one. Mm-hmm. All right, so let me see. Only section in chapter 12 is 12.2. Test 4 and its review still needs to be posted, but you still have, that's something that you have to do. Final exam week. And I'm going to send you a copy of the final exam schedule. The final exam week should be, where my dates at? Okay, there we go. Yep. Let's see. Date for you guys. So I'm going to send you a copy of this, but it's on the website, if you just want it. Let's see, we meet Tuesdays and Thursdays, 8 to 9 Thursday. I said 8 to 9 Thursday, 8 to 9:30. So that's this right here. So our final exam is Friday at 10:30. On final exam week. Yeah, final exam week, May 6th. So your final exam date is May 6th at 10:30. All right. And so this is the final, if you've never taken final exams at Norfolk State, this is their block scheduling that they do for that last week of classes. This is called final exam week. So you don't go to your regularly scheduled class during this week. You go according to where your classes would normally meet. We normally meet 8 to 9:30 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. This is us right here. This is our block. So May 6th at 10:30. And each exam is 2-hour block. And they have a half an hour in between each block. All right. So your date is May 6th at 10:30. What else I want to tell you guys? So that's that. All right, so if we look at this scheduling, what we have left. I think it's 5-2. Yep. All right, so this is what we have left. We're going to do 12.2 today. Oh, that's the other thing I need to post. I will be posting final exam review. And one other thing, I just remembered that too. Yep. Mhm. See if I can get all this and shift it down. Understand review. And one last thing, y'all probably don't remember this, but I mentioned at the beginning of class, we have a quantitative reasoning test that you will take through Blackboard. So I'll be sending you details on that through email shortly, how to get access to it or whatever. It's a quantitative reasoning test that you guys, every 103 class has to administer. And so you guys will take it. It's through Blackboard, not through MATLAB. That's the only thing you'll do through Blackboard. So, yep. But I'll give you more details on that. I already got it in there. I just gotta create the link so you guys can have access to it. So before we go to these dates and make sure we're good, is everybody okay with these points right here? Questions on them? So looking at our dates, we're gonna do 12.2 today. And then from there, you have all these days to get yourself right. Whether it be for the final exam to get caught up, whatever you need to do. Now, you can't say I ain't do whatever I could to allow you guys to get caught up. There are a lot of people that are behind. I am supposed to keep doing work, bring new material, but I'm pausing on it because some people need the opportunity to get caught up, and I'm giving it to you. Now, if you guys take advantage of it or not, say again, sir.
So we have 5 days.
Yes, sir. 5 full
That's
class
funny,
days.
but it is funny.
Say what?
It came out of nowhere.
Well, yes, sir. So I just want people to understand what I'm doing here because it's not normal. You know what I mean? Just to give you 5 blank days to ask me whatever questions you want to ask me or to get caught up. Say what? Is what you mean? The 28th? No. This today right here. This is 12. Yeah. Yeah. So you got 2.5 weeks. I mean, if you're not counting today, to ask, and all of these pretty much are review days, whether you guys take advantage of them or not. If you come to class or not, I'm not, not worried about it. It's really about how you want to handle those days. If you're good, I'm not gonna make you come to class and listen to other people's questions. It's up to you how you want to handle them.
Are you gonna be in class on these dates? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
So just come and do our work. I can come and do my homework and then just ask you questions.
Okay, it just depends on the date, either to be in class. If I don't send an email out, then I'll be in class. But okay. I might every one or two of them, maybe even two of them, do just Zoom. It depends on what's going on and how people are responding to the days. Especially if you were to send me an email saying I'm coming through, I was looking to coming through today, then I'm most definitely gonna be here because I know you're somebody who, wants like to come into the class. So,
Perfect.
but if I'm catching the vibe and ain't nobody showing up, ain't no purpose in me wasting gas either. You know what I mean? So,
Exactly.
you
Exactly.
so yeah, so most
Like I
definitely.
said, teach. You did good. I mean, like you said, you give us a lot of chances to complete our works. Thank you for that.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. Not a problem. So, questions on anything before we knock out our last section of new material? Everybody good, everybody good. Okay, just want to make sure there was nothing else I need to add up here. Only doing 12.2. 12.2 is the only one out of chapter 12. Yep.
So go chapter 5.
You talking out of chapter 12?
Yeah.
No, because chapter 12 went from 12.1 to 12.5. I would think that's, yeah, 12.1 to 12.5. So I took out all of them except for 12.2.
So we only doing 2.
That's it? I'll tell you, man, unless you want some more, man, you let me know. Because, you know.
I was like, oh, should I say?
Like, sorry, I aim to please. Sound like you want some more sections. All right, so 12.2 is pretty light. Like I said, I didn't want to completely remove 12 without putting some work into it. So, because really we got time to really get into chapter 12, but like I said, I'm trying to give you guys the opportunity to knock this thing out. So 12.2 measures of central tendency. First thing we talk about is the mean. It's just another word for average. So you would add all your data values up, divide by the number of data values. All right, first example, if our data set was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I wanted to find the mean, just add up the data values. I have 5 numbers altogether. So I divide by the number 5. 15 divided by 5 is 3. My average would be 3. Let's pull up some. I forgot to go up. The last, just the example, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How we looking at this?
Oh,
You said you don't need it no more? Okay, yeah, you're fine. So median is another way of looking at our median. Another way of describing our median is the middle value. So you're gonna list your data values from least to greatest. So you always remember that first step, because a lot of times people forget that first step. Listing your data values from least to greatest. If you don't do that first step, you will get the answer wrong. So you list your data values from least to greatest. If the number of data values is odd, then you take the middle value. If the number of data values is even, you would take the mean of the two middle values. You good on that example now?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, the first step. All right, so that's step two. We got to pay attention to the number of data values that we have. Once again, if the number of data values is odd, then that means we have a legit middle number. So we can just take the middle number. If the number of data values is even, then there is no middle number. So we have to take the two middle values, add them together and divide by 2. So we look at our first data set, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 numbers here. Number of data values I have is odd. So that means I can just pick my middle number out, which would be 3. Then the second set of data, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have an even number of data values. So I'll take the two middle numbers, 3 and 4, add them together, divide by 2, and that'll be 3.5. And those 3.5 goes right in the middle of the data set.
First step, we're trying to find the median, which is 3, right?
On the first data set?
Yeah, the first data set is medium,
Yes, the middle,
which is 3.
uh-huh.
And then the data set for, now we're going to step 2, which you take 3 and 4.
Mhm.
Are we trying to find the median again for that?
Yes, because if you go to step 2 right here, it gives you 2 different scenarios. The first scenario is if your number of data values is odd. The second scenario is if your number of data values is even.
Okay.
And so I was just showing you both scenarios.
So the odd one, the first one, the scenario which is odd one. So it's 3, correct?
Yes. Now, when I'm talking
Now,
about odd, I'm not talking about 3. I'm talking about
okay.
the number of data values that you have.
Okay.
So if the number of data values you have is odd, then you just pick out the middle number. If the number of data values you have is even, then you don't have a middle number, because if you have even numbered numbers, there is no middle number. So you have to take the 2 middle numbers, add them together, and divide by 2.
All right. Cool.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, that one always confused me since high school.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's all about, that's why it says if the number of data values is even, or if the number of data values is odd, that's what would dictate, because this number right here could have been even. You know, that, so it don't have nothing to do with those numbers. It's about how many numbers do you have in your data set altogether. That's what will
Right.
dictate what you do. All right, can I scroll up some? How far can I go in?
I'm not saying for
In the purple? Okay, cool. All right. Next one, a mode. You think about most or most frequent. Normally just put most right here. Just want most. So the data value that appears the most frequently is, it is possible to not have a mode, but it's also possible to have more than one mode. How we looking at it, purple? You say you about what?
yeah,
Okay, well, no, take your time.
we wrong. So quick question.
Mm-hmm.
So. 7.
Well, if you throw it in the calculator, you're gonna get 2.5. That's the exact,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Mhm. Right. So last two statements of mode. Bimodal is having two modes, multimodal is having more than two. All right, how many, what statement you on? Okay. All right, so we look at this data set right here, 178, 235, 769, 147, 456, 789, 7 would be our mode because it appears the most out of all data values. All right, we got one more. How far can I go up? Multimodal. Mhm. All right, last one. We have the mid-range. That's our lowest data value plus the highest data value divided by 2. Mhm. Okay. So last one, mid-range, lowest data value plus the highest data value divided by 2. So that's going to be 1 plus 5 divided by 2. 6 divided by 2 would be 3. Any questions? Any questions on anything? And these are just foundational things, if we were going to take time out, we use these things to do other things with them. But like I said, with the position of majority of the class, we really need some time to get caught up. So I'm affording you guys that opportunity. All right. Any questions, concerns, or comments? Well, if you finish copying, then feel free to go ahead and check off. So remember the next few days, the next 5 classes really, are really optional. So it's up to you how you handle these classes. You guys are adults, treat you like that. You know what I mean? So it's up to you guys how you handle the classes. You know how I've been taking attendance, and it's been through Math Lab anyway, not necessarily you coming to class. There will be no more, after this one, I'll send it out. There will be no more, lectures sent out because there's no more new content. So you don't have to look for that email. Yeah, it's just all about now time management, getting your work done, getting yourself caught up, and look out for my emails of communication, and then we'll go from there. All right. Anything else before we close? Everybody good? All right. You guys have a good one, and I will see you next class.